So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I scaled this store to $2.1 million in just over a year, and just break down everything so that you have a firm understanding of how exactly you can potentially replicate these results. And what I'll also do is I'll just do a refresh so that you can see that the numbers are all completely real. And what I'm also going to do is I will hop into Facebook ads library to show you the spend, which most gurus don't actually show you. So here you can see inside of the ad account is selected to maximum. There's absolutely no filters on whatsoever. And if you have a look all the way down here at the spend, you can see that we spent $1.1 million on this ad account. And again, I will refresh in the top right hand corner just so that you can see that these numbers are completely legit and real. So there's a lot that I actually want to cover in this video. I can guarantee if you stick with me to the end, you will get tons of value. And the way this strategy ultimately works is broken down into three phases. And the first phase is identifying the opportunity, i.e. the products, and then the localization, so taking that product and applying it to a different market, and then there's the testing and validation phase. And I'm going to go through all of these things, and like I mentioned, I'm not sure how long this video will be, but I can guarantee if you stay with me to the end, you will get tons of value from it, and some tips and tricks that you can apply to your own dropshipping store, and hopefully, you know, get some great results with your own stores. So when it comes to identifying the opportunity, i.e. the product, we need to find something that is worth testing out. And this is broken down into two stages. There's the product DNA. So only testing products which follow a strict criteria so that you're not just burning money on testing any old product, throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it sticks, which a lot of newbies do. And then there's actually the practical steps of where to actually find these products. So let's go straight into the product winning DNA. So a winning product is broken or has a specific DNA that I like to follow, and it's just a 5-step criteria. And I'll run through it. So first and foremost is the products should already be selling. Someone else there should already be selling the product. And one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of newbies made, especially when I got into dropshipping, was I thought that I had to try and sell something which no one else was selling. Trying to find a quote unquote untapped product, and it's just a massive waste of time, and it's harder to do as a beginner. So you want to find something which has proven market fit already. There's demand for the product, and when you sell those products, it's quicker to get results, and you can beat competition. A lot of people get scared by competition, but you can beat them on so many different fronts, which I'll talk about later in this video. And even just something as finding something in one market, US market, and switching it to, you know, an EU country is already a competitive edge that you can have. So already selling, you want to find something. Now, your question that you may have is, okay, how do I know that it's already selling or already making money for someone else? Well, there's two ways that you can do it. There's the Facebook ads. There's validating with Facebook ads, which is the free method, which I'll show you in a moment in time. And then there's something like Shop Hunter and SimilarWeb, which are paid spy tools, which again, you're going to see a little later in this video as well. Now, the second point of this criteria is, does it solve a problem? And you want to find products which solve a problem, whether they make someone's life easier, they take away the pain, they do things faster and easier and quicker, or they make the customer look better, like shapewear, etc. Stuff like that. When you sell a problem-solving product, it's easier to sell with your scripts, easier to come up with angles rather than trying to sell something which is just cool, quirky, and unique, like some TikTok, you know, product. And products that solve a problem also have longevity. You're able to sell these products for a lot longer. This hero product I've been selling for over a year now, and it is still running, just not on this store. And if you look at some of my recent videos, you'll see that this product in stores still making money, even though it's Chinese New Year, which is a very slow month, and obviously it's January as well. So you want to focus on problem-solving products. The next part is, can it be sourced? And I'm going to give you an example of all of this, a good example and a bad example. But can it be sourced is very simple and straightforward. Can you find it on AliExpress? Does your agent have access to the products? Can they fulfill it? One of the most important things out of these is good margins. Now, ideally, I like to see that there is at least 65% gross margin with the product, and gross margin is basically what you're selling it for, take away what the cost of goods are, you know, which is obviously the cost of the product plus shipping. And then ideally you want to 3 to 5x your cost of goods. So if you're getting it and you're selling it for $10, ideally you want to sell it for $30 at a minimum. Ideally you want to mark it up more than that because it allows you to get a higher AOV, you have more margin to play with, and all that kind of stuff. Now, the final point, which a lot of newbies actually don't do, is, especially if you're just testing products out of the gate, you want to make sure that it has existing content. And when I talk about the phase 3, the ads and traffic, I'm going to show you how and where you can come up with content. But you want to make sure first and foremost there's a few places you can check, but obviously TikTok, there's Facebook as library, YouTube, competitors for your content. And there's one pro tip, like I kind of briefly touched on a moment ago, but it doesn't have to be a brand new product, since you can gain a competitive edge by simply selling in another country. And I'm going to talk about the localization section in phase 2, but it's something that you can do by very easily just taking something which someone else is already selling in an English speaking country, do all of the translation and the localization, and have success, because they may not have seen that product, because everyone likes to go for the top 4 English speaking markets, but there's opportunity in so many different markets that you can have a competitive edge simply just by doing localization, which is why this strategy is so powerful. So moving on now, it's exactly like where to find these products. It's all well and good knowing what a winning product looks like, but where on earth can you find these things? Well, there's free methods and there's pay methods. To be honest, I mainly stick to free methods, and pay methods do work as well. They are good. They do speed up the process, and I would recommend you having access to at least one paid spy tool, because it's just going to help your life a lot more easier. And I'll show you, maybe I'll show you later in the video how I like to use these, especially in the ads and traffic section. So I'll talk about the free method, the ones that I basically use all of the time. And the main one is Facebook Ads Library. This is a platform where all of the Facebook ads are shown that are currently running at the moment in time. And I'll give you a demonstration in a moment, but there's keywords that you can search for to pull up ads. And what you're searching for is keywords that other dropshippers would be using, or other marketers or brands would be using in their ads, so that you can see. So let me just give you a live example. If we just have a look at Facebook Ads Library here, and I'm just going to type in, you want to make sure that you default to United States, because that's where you're going to get the majority of your results. It will localize to your country to start off with, which was United Kingdom from where I am. And if you want to click on this here where it says search exact phrase, if you click on this, it's going to pull up 19,000 results, which is way too many results. So in order to filter down these, and again, not all of these are going to be dropshipping results, you want to click on filter. And then what you want to do is you want to click on the to date. And what I like to do is I like to go back like 7 to 10 days or so, or even 3 weeks. We want to make sure then that you're on videos. I personally just like to put it on video. And if you click apply now, it's already going to default to active ads. If this wasn't on, you would make sure that it was saying active ads. But you can see now we've got 5,000 results, and this is a lot more manageable. This basically means that this has started running on the 9th of Jan, and it's currently still active. So it's been running for 3 weeks now. And if something's been running for 3 weeks, then obviously we can assume that it has, it is making some sort of money. Another telltale sign that I like to look for is making sure that they have different creative variations. So you can see here that they've got Nordic home, Nordic home, Nordic home, etc., etc. And even these ones here are also Nordic home. So I would look into this product and see whether or not it's worth testing out. And I'll run it through the criteria, because seeing it is just one thing. You want to make sure, of course, that you are always running it through this criteria, which, sometimes it may fail at some points. Okay, and then once you find something like this, you would obviously want to just go to their page. And if I click on this here and view their ads, what it's going to do is going to take me to their page, and I can see here that they've got 47 results, active results currently running. And that's a good sign, because if it's anything near 50, then it gives me hope that the product is, they're selling. And another telltale sign is, the higher the number this is, the better. And another telltale sign is, if you scroll down, in terms of validation, is how long has it been running. So you can see here that these started running in November, which is a couple of months now. So the two main ways to validate, if this product is selling or not, free, is that yes, it started running for a couple of months. It has ads running for a couple of months, and it has multiple ads. So that's pretty much it for that one. And there's so many different variations that you can do with this. Free shipping, I just done one search, but you can do this to country. You can mess about with all of these keywords. You can also search for specific keywords like pain relief, neck pain, shoulder pain, whatever it may be, if you want to find a specific type of product. On top of that, a little pro tip is you can also do things such as like the translation of a keyword. So for example, discount, rabatt, I believe means discount in Germany and Swedish. So you could use that, and again, that's going to pull up those results. The other free method that I like to use is curating your feed. And this is something that you can do on any platform, because they're all built on algorithms. So, they are designed to keep you on a platform as much as you possibly can while still pleasing the advertisers. So if you go onto Instagram, this is one thing that I do, and you find an ad or you find a product, you want to click on it, and then if you go back in your feed, it will say see all. And if you click on see all, it's just going to show you a bunch of ads of products, you know, and you can go through and have a look at ones that have the most amount of likes on, because they're typically winning creatives. You can do this on TikTok, you can do this on your Facebook newsfeed, anything which is a dropshipping product, just go through, click on it, go through the store, and then do things such as add it to your cart, view content, initiate checkout. Don't buy it, of course, but that way it's going to signal to Facebook that you are interested in this kind of content, and it's going to show you more of that content, and that's really good. Some people like to call it the burner method, essentially. Now, in terms of pay tools, we have Clio Data, which is one basically to find TikTok winning products. It's very good. And I like to use this also when it comes to the phase 3 of traffic and ads, because it has some content in there that you can use for your ads. The other one is Manea, which again, it's kind of an older one, but it has, and I use this kind of in a different way, which I'll show you in the traffic in phase 3. But you can find some stuff on here as well. And Shop Hunter is one which I will show you in terms of the validating whether or not a store is actually making money. So the paid method, like I mentioned over here. Okay. So for Shop Hunter, essentially what it does is you can see here that this store is doing around about $357,000 every single month. And it's a rough estimate. It's not like 100%, but it gives you a ballpark figure on whether or not something's selling. And you can cross-reference this with SimilarWeb, which is basically just going to show you the traffic, and you can kind of come up with a estimate their conversion rate and assume how much money a store would be making. But this is a cool product, a cool tool that I like to use just to see whether or not if an actual product is or a marketer is actually making any money. So you can use this for that. Okay. Now that's phase 1 basically out of the way. But before we do that, let's just actually have a look at some examples on running this through in live time. So I've got a good example and a fail. And like I mentioned, I like to make sure that they pass all of these criteria. So I've got an example here of a good one. Let's look at the good one. So is it already selling? Well, I found this product here on Facebook Ads Library. They've got 260 results active currently at the moment in time, with some of them that have been running for multiple months. So great, it's already selling. Cool. That's the free method. I could also run it in Shop Hunter if I wanted to. Does it solve a problem? Well, yes, it helps builders and people who work out, you know, maybe plumbers, electricians, see stuff at night or in dark spaces, or maybe runners at nighttime, or maybe dog walkers. So yes, it solves a problem. Can it be sourced? Yes. If you go to AliExpress, I literally typed in rechargeable LED headlamp and it came up with this, and it was only $4. You know, does it have good margins? Well, yes. These guys are selling it for $32 just for one, and that's not including the bundles. And we know that we can get it for $4 shipped, and even better with probably even better with an agent. So it's got a considerable markup there. Great. So it does have good margins. And does it have existing content? Well, that's very simple to do. You can just go onto, mainly TikTok is the go-to. And you can see here that yes, if I type in, you know, motion activated headlight, or if I type in, you know, something like LED headlight, we've got videos here of people actively using the product, which is fantastic. Okay, so yes, this was past all of the criteria and worth moving into localization. The next one we have is a fail. So this one is already selling. These guys have 170 results, Hearts Valley. They do sell a product or another version of a product, which is something that would pass. But for this is one of their hero winning products, which is a heart watch ring. It's a watch ring, not a heart watch ring. The name of the brand's Hearts, but it is already selling. It's one of their hero winning products. Does it solve a problem? No, it doesn't. It's just cool, quirky, and looks unique. Can it be sourced? Well, when I went up to AliExpress, I couldn't actually find this exact version. I also had a look on Google reverse image search, and again, you can't find something like this. Only this dead looking version here. Does it have good margins? Well, I don't actually know because I can't source the product. And does it have existing content? Well, no, because it's a unique product. So this was something that even though you may see is working for someone else, you literally can't sell it because you just can't, it doesn't pass the criteria. And that's what I personally like to run through. It helps me save a lot of time. It helps me save a lot of money on trying to test products, which ultimately, you know, we're never really going to work from the start or wasting time. And when you do things this way, you ultimately test less products, but you will have a higher hit rate. So on to the second part. The second part is localization. So that is the country and the store. So remember the strategy here is taking something that's already working in one country and flipping it in another, which is exactly what I've done for this quote unquote case study. So there's a few countries that you can sell to. Some are a little bit better than others. Some are more beginner friendly, and you have some that require special payment processors, and then others which are just, card and PayPal only, and you can run them off the bat. So the ones that you can run off the bat with card and PayPal only is Germany, France, Denmark, and Sweden. The ones that are, fairly beginner friendly, as you can see here, pro tip, Denmark is very beginner friendly, but it has lower scale due to a smaller population. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head, but I think it's like a couple of million on Facebook ads, which is targetable. And then Germany and France is much more competitive, of course, but it allows for much higher scale. Yeah. And then we have some countries which are good, but they just have special payment processors. So Sweden, for example, has Klarna. And if you don't have Klarna on your store for Sweden, then your conversion rate is going to be absolutely awful. So you need Sweden, and Sweden's a fantastic country. I've sold there before. It's a great country to scale in. If you can get access to Klarna, even though it does come with its headaches, it's worth testing there. Netherlands, I think you need Ideal. I always get these confused. It's either Netherlands is Bank Contact and Ideal is Belgium. I'm not sure, but one of the two is for those two. Again, a lot of dropshippers are selling in those two countries. I think sometimes you can actually just run these with card and PayPal only, but I've never personally sold in these two. Not without going worldwide and just including them in some ad sets. So they're the countries that you can genuinely choose, along with some pro tips. And next it comes down to localization. And one of the biggest misconceptions that people have with the strategy like this is that they feel like they need to learn the language, or at least know the language, or get a translator or something. The truth is, you do not need a translator at all. And some of the stores happily that we run convert at 3 to 5% plus just by using free online translators. One of my favorite ones is obviously DeepL, which is this one here, and it gives you the access to, if I get rid of this here, it gives you access to pretty much most countries. So French, German, we've got Danish here as well, Dutch, which if you're doing Netherlands, it's got all sorts of Swedish as well. I'll just type in please subscribe to my channel. And if you are getting some value from this video, then please do obviously subscribe to the channel with a thumbs up. So yeah, that's what I like to use for localization, and you can do it with ChatGPT, but most of the time I'm using DeepL. You don't need to hire a translator on Fiverr or anything like that at all. Now the next part, one of the most important things. It's not the most important things, but it's one of the most important things. Is the landing page that you are sending traffic to, or essentially your store, because the homepage doesn't matter that much. A lot of people overcomplicate the homepage. You don't need to have tons of things on your homepage. The product page though, or the page where you're sending the majority of your traffic, remember they're just going to go from the ad to the product page or whatever landing page you're sending them to the cart if you have that, to the checkout, and that's it. So that's the most important part. But it's made up obviously of a product page like this, and then you have the offer, and then we have something else called listicles, which I'll talk about in a moment in time. So I'm going to show you some high converting product pages that you can look at. And by the way, if you want access to this entire Miro board, if we hit, let's say, 1,000 likes on this video, I'll drop it down below so that you can check it all out and get access to all of these links. But above the fold, which is basically everything above the scroll. So when someone lands on a product page, if I just give you an example here, if we look at this one here, let me go to this store. Above the fold is basically everything before I have to scroll. So you can see here, this is the top of the store. And again, if I go into inspect element and look at it at mobile, this is everything before I have to scroll, right? And this is the most important part, is everything like above, like here, up to here. Because if you install any sort of heat map, you'll know that most people will just really skim read all of this stuff and they won't consume much stuff. Most people will make a buying decision based on the information that they have in here, which is why the above the fold is so critical. So let's look at some above the folds of some of these websites. And some of the things you need to have is high quality images. And if we have a look at this one here, you can see they've got high quality images here. They've got this one here. Again, of people using it, they've got some benefit call outs. They have some statistics of real results of it working. Again, they have a testimonial here as well. They have before and afters, and you can see that is well put together. Other things that you will need is benefit bullet points, the social proof, an offer obviously, and an add to cart button, and any important questions are answered. So again, let's look at some examples of above the folds. So you can see here, this one here, as I've mentioned, they don't have benefit bullet points, but they have an offer. They also have social proof with this here. They have, again, social proof again here from an authority figure. And they also have the important questions here, such as how does it work, etc. You will have these in your FAQs, but remember, most people won't actually scroll down to get that answer. So if you can answer it above the fold, the better. Now, if we have a look at some of these other ones, just really quickly, some of these other stores, you can see here again, they have high quality images of this one here. They have a comparison, so ours versus something else, how it all works, etc. Benefit bullet points here, social proof in this here, the offer. Again, these guys are offering the more you buy, you get one half price along with a gift card, the add to cart button, and again, important questions all answered here as well. So we have a look at another one. Again, I think I've shown this one in some of my other videos, but you can see here, this one here, again, high quality images. They've got an offer here right out the gate for free gifts, benefit call outs here. They also have essentially, again, more benefit call outs. They have before and afters, so the results. They also have statistics like we've seen in some of the other ones, and key ingredients because of the product that they're selling. And again, this was a similar like the other. Benefit bullet points. They've got an offer here, which is bundling, add to cart, and again, important questions. So you're seeing a theme here, and really quickly, I'll just show you this last one here. You can see here that all of these successful stores are following a specific kind of template. And if you are not doing anything like this, again, they have benefits of it, benefits, how it works, comparisons, and that kind of stuff. Again, bullet point benefits. They also have the offer here, which is a buy two, save $10, add to cart, social proof, and yada yada yada. So again, if you're not following, you're above the folds like this, then you want to only you only want to essentially do what other successful stores are doing, and this is what successful stores do. Now below the fold, again, I'm going to glance over this fairly quickly, but 3 to 5 images with text, testimonials, how it works, comparison tables, FAQs, guarantee, and a second call to action. If we have a look at this one here again, image text, benefit call outs, how it actually works. They've got statistics here as well, testimonials, comparison, and then FAQs as well. And another, they finally have another CTA at the bottom. Now again, you don't have to include all of these, but majority you will include some of them if they're relatable to your product or not, right? Now, one of the most important things is obviously the offer. Now, I do have a video on offers, and I cover it in some of my other previous videos, but essentially it's basically 20% of stuff which will bring in 80% of the results. A good offer can transform a losing campaign into a winning campaign by simply tweaking the offer. An offer is essentially just a value exchange. When the value is greater of the price that people are paying or handing you money, that's a good sign. People feel comfortable in doing that. And some good offers that you can do, again, is very product dependent, because some of these you aren't actually going to be able to do because the cogs and the unit economics just doesn't make it feasible in order for you to be able to do so. But bundles, we've had a look at some of these other stores. I'll show you a few more in a moment in time. But bundles, so the more they buy, the better they save, the more they save. A buy two, get one free, buy one, get one free, buy two, get a free gift or free shipping. So the first one, they have to pay for shipping. If they buy two, they unlock free shipping. Things such as, including free ebooks or free gifts. And like that other store, this one down here actually offered free gift cards, which doesn't cost them anything, but boosts the perceived value of the offer. If I have a look and show you some of these examples of different stores, you can see here that these guys obviously have the pillow itself, but you also get 2 free gifts included. They get a custom pillowcase, they get mouth tape and nasal tape. Now these things cost pennies because pillowcase is a couple of pence. Mouth tape and nasal tape, again, doesn't cost that much at all either. If we have a look at this one here, I think this one is just purely bundling. So they have a 2-month supply with 4 filters. They have the 4-month supply with 8 filters plus a free gift. And then they have another one with an extra pump and a free gift and 12 set filters. So you can see here, this is more of a bundling style of offer. And then the final one, which is a kind of like a classic go-to one, is obviously Bleem, and this is kind of like a no-brainer. The main thing is making an offer feel so good that they feel stupid saying no to. Now this one obviously again illustrates that. You can see here that one pack is $29, but if you buy two, then ultimately you get in each one cheaper, you unlock free shipping, and you also get a free body scrub. So why on earth are you just going to buy one when two makes so much more sense? Okay. So that's it kind of much for offers. The next thing I want to talk to you about is listicles. And this is something that I implemented to get more scale and help convert a lot more traffic. And it's only really worth testing out for proven products, but it works so well. And basically a listicle is something which warms up the customer by educating them about what the product does and the top main benefits. It's easier to consume, and I'm going to show you some examples in a moment in time, but they're easier for the viewer to consume because they're not cold selling and seeing the price right off the bat. They're not being put off by seeing the price. And it's very short and punchy copy. Now you can make these, also take this a step further by customizing based on the angle that you're targeting inside of your ad set. So if you were selling a product which also helped with skin and it also helped with hair, you could have a listicles 5 reasons why for the hair stuff, and then another one for skin angle as well if you wanted to. So looking at some examples that we have here of listicles, usually they always follow the same format, which is basically a 10 reasons why or X reasons why, 3 reasons why. I personally just like to stick to 5 reasons why. It's like a nice happy medium. And basically just an image and then some text. Very short, punchy copy here. You can see here that it points out the main benefits, but the main goal is to make sure that you give away information and hype them up, but not giving away too much, because the goal here isn't so much to like sell the whole product. The goal on this is just basically to sell the click, which is get them here and warm them up and maybe handle any sort of objections. So again, it's just image text, and then down here you have the offer, and this, if you click this, would go to the product page. Again, I'll show you another example. Hollow socks, the way they do things, again, even simpler. 5 reasons why you would never ski without alpaca wool again. So this is a listicle customized to people who is on the skiing angle. And these guys sell wool socks, not just for skiing. They sell it for, workers, builders, etc. And, this is one that's built predominantly just to target that one avatar or that one angle. Again, image, text, yada, yada, yada. And then straight into the offer, spring sale, boom, and then that will go to the product page. I'll show you one more here. As you can see, 9 reasons why people love this shake. You can see here again, image text, and look how short the copy is. And what you'll generally find sometimes is that the CPMs when you run to a listicle is a little bit cheaper because the bounce rate isn't as high. Because remember, there's no buttons at all. The only button that they can press is this one here right at the bottom, and because it's short punchy copy, 9 times out of 10 you're educating the customer. And when it says obviously 9 reasons why, people's logic is kind of like an open loop by saying 9 reasons why. Some people will read all of them, but majority of people will want to consume and know exactly what the 9th one is. So it's very good like that. And the more people consume, again, Facebook is an entertainment platform, the more that people can consume on the product page, sometimes the CPMs can be a little bit cheaper. So they work very well on something that we implemented. Again, I only really do it for proven products. I like to make sure that the product page converts off the rip, out of the gate, which it did in this case. And then going forward, obviously when we're doing creative testing and those kind of things, we can move into listicles and other product pages. So next, now we need to move on to phase 3, and phase 3 is ultimately the testing and launching, which is traffic and ads. And basically it's broken down into obviously the creatives, the testing, and the scaling. 3 main parts, so I'll run over those. The first thing is the creatives. Now creatives is broken down into a few sections, of course. The first thing is the research, and this, without research, if you don't know who you're selling to, it's incredibly difficult to sell to anyone if you don't know what their pain points are. And there's a few places obviously that you can check. The first place is obviously if you are just taking a product and doing this strategy, you're just going to take the majority of stuff which is already working for the other person. Once you've kind of exhausted all of that stuff, then you're going to have to do some more research to continue to have scale. And to do that, things like Amazon reviews, Reddit reviews, not Reddit reviews, Reddit stories, Reddit posts, subreddits for your specific product, and then obviously your own Shopify store, the competitor Shopify store, their reviews, their comments, their ads, and those kind of things that you can take. And the main thing that you're trying to find out here is the desired outcomes. So what is it? Why are they buying the product? You know, what are they trying to get relief from? And the pain points. So you want to make sure, what are they running from? You know, what's pushing them to buy the product? What are they suffering with right now? The failed solutions, what have they tried, or alternative solutions that they've tried that haven't quite solved their issue as of yet? Because most people, if they are trying to, you know, especially with problem solving products like acne or hair loss, for example, like most people have tried other things and it probably hasn't worked for them. And your goal is to position yourself as the thing that's going to ultimately solve their problem finally. And then stories. And stories obviously make for great hooks. They make for great leads. And you can find a lot of stories in Reddit. It's a kind of a gold mine for like finding stories and one-liners and keys that you can use for hooks and stuff. And then ultimately objections. So, you know, what sort of questions would they have before they purchase? So if we're talking about hair loss here, the pain points would be, obviously they have no hair. Maybe they feel a little bit insecure. And pain points and desired outcomes are all like, they're both physical and emotional. So again, if we're talking about hair loss, again, hair loss would be something like pain points. Physically, they have no hair or they have thinning hair. And then, for example, the emotional side of things would be they feel insecure, they feel embarrassed, yada, yada, yada. Now, again, objections, it would be stuff like people have different awareness levels. So one of the objections could be, yeah, but, you know, they don't actually, I've tried, you know, whatever it is, rolling, or I've done some other stuff and I've tried of those and they don't work. So you want to make sure that you have to overcome those objections, and that's what you have to do inside of your ads to convince the person to click and buy your product. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard of DeepSeek and the whole thing nowadays. DeepSeek AI in recent times is, you know, is blowing ChatGPT out of the water. I've tried it, I've messed about with it. It's not really that great for writing scripts as of yet. I've not really tried it much with writing scripts, but in terms of analyzing information like this and pulling out key stuff and then using some of these other tools to write the scripts, it's amazing. So definitely check out DeepSeek, and obviously there's ChatGPT. And your goal is to find what the angles are. So what's the avatar? Because remember, you're selling a product, but there's loads of different people buying a product for different reasons. And that's how you unlock scale. So there's going to be certain avatars that would buy a product. So for example, if we go back to the hair loss one, we could have, you know, the 17-year-old, maybe not so, who loses hair at 17, I'm not sure, but maybe the teenager who's, you know, briefly seeing, maybe he's at university and he's briefly seeing his hair go in and just feeling a bit insecure around girls, whatever it may be. And then maybe there's a 35-year-old guy who's just recently come out of a relationship and, you know, his hair's thinning and he don't know what it's like. You know, he feels embarrassed on the dating scene. They're buying the same product, but they're two different avatars, and you speak to those two different those customers differently. So finding out what the avatar is, the demo, which is demographic, the awareness level. So some people, again, can relate to hair loss. They may understand like the scientific behind it, like the DHT conversion, all that crap. They might understand all that, and then someone else just may not understand it, you know. And then the style of ad, which is the concept that you are going to. Next, we have scripting. So these are the tools I like to use for scripting. Most of the time I just use Poe because it has Claude and ChatGPT and even DeepSeek in there. And there's two ways you can go about it. If you're a beginner and starting out, so off the rip, I personally started with copy and winning scripts that were already working for someone else. And that's one easy thing to do, is to just find winning ads, analyze their script and run with it. So obviously there is Manea, which is this tool here. And if we pull up Manea, for example, and I just log in a second. So inside Manea, you can go to, if you know the product page name, what you can do is you can go to like their shop page and find out their top 3 ads. Again, with all of their other ads from this shop, it's going to show you all of these ones. So look at the engagement on some of these, 246,000 likes on this. So like, something about these ads are absolutely crushing it, and Woofs is a fantastic brand, and shout out Sam. He's actually killer when it comes to Ecom. So yeah, this one, again, what you want to do is have a look at these ads and download them and download the script, okay, and reverse engineer the script. So in order to download the video, you can download the video, and then what you want to do is you want to pull it into something called Riverside. And what this does is a free transcription. I think you can do it in CapCut, but it's going to give you the transcript of the video. if it's got text or voice on it. And then what you can do is you can basically reverse engineer the product, the script, sorry, to whatever you are selling. And that's a skill in itself, being able to reverse engineer. But if you are able to reverse engineer it like, it's just you'll get so much further in life if you understand how to do that and template scripts. Now, the other thing that you can do once you kind of like move forward is you have to be creative, and you can come up with templated frameworks. These are just a few that you can use. Again, hook, pain agitation, failed solution, product intro, benefit 1, 2, and 3, handling any sort of objection, offer, and CTA. Again, with another one here, hook, maybe you come up with a story and education that you found in one of your researches. And then product intro, benefits, how it works. So first thing you do is X, Y, and Z, simple. Social proof, offer, and a CTA. And then this is one that I also like to use, which is it kind of covers all of the benefit points, and it's very good to start with out of the gate. Basically like a 3 reasons why, X reasons why, 5 reasons why I purchased this product, or why you need this product, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and maybe a secondary benefit. So like it costs less than a chiropractor visit or whatever it may be, and then offer, and then CTA. Okay. Now, once you've built your script, you then need to obviously translate in, I've already showed you that, so DeepL or ChatGPT. And then it comes down to editing. Now, out of the gate, you're going to need to edit yourself. So to start with, obviously you need to get the content. And these are the main things, like clips, that you're going to need to get, regardless if you're taking existing stuff or new stuff. And it's desired outcomes, current problems, alternative solutions, and product shots. If you can find those, you can build any ad, you can build any sort of storyboard. Now, in terms of existing, you just want to go to TikTok. Is the place where you find a lot of content. One little key tip that you can do is if you're based in United Kingdom and you go on TikTok, it's going to show you UK focused content. So if you've got a proxy, you can open up a TikTok in United States and use it on desktop, not on mobile, but still. You can download the stuff using Snaptic. Kaleo Data also has a place like this here, shows you the winning TikTok shop videos. So what's actually bringing in sales, sorry. So you can take those clips and for not certain, but you can have a more educated guess that content's going to work if it's proven to bring in sales on a TikTok shop. Now, once you've utilized a lot of existing content, then you obviously have to come around. And if you want to scale further, you need to make sure, and you want to sustain scale, you're going to need to have new content for yourself. So the thing that I done in order to sustain scale of this product was you can shoot content yourself if you want to keep costs low, and it's a product that lends itself to just being a POV. Obviously, personally, I can't really shoot my face nowadays with my personal brand. I'm not, a superstar at all, but I know that if anyone wants to see it, they just completely rip the whole store and just, do all sorts of funky stuff. So I tried to keep myself out of the actual ads face-wise, but anything that's POV that I could just shoot with my hand or get a friend or family member to shoot, just do that. It's much more easier and quicker. Order the product from Amazon and you're good to go. If you want other people, then Fiverr is another place where I've had fantastic use of people finding them to do content. Some of them are a bit extortionate, but you can negotiate. It's a good place. Upwork is another good place where you can hire creators on like a one-on-one basis. Backstage is another place where I've heard very good things about. I've not personally used it personally, but I know that if you're trying to sell to a higher age demographic, then there's a lot of professionals on there. Basically, it's just a platform whereby people who are looking to get into movies or commercials and all that kind of stuff, like actors, go in there. So maybe it's not really that authentic for UGC talking wise, but B-roll, you probably get some good stuff from there. Another little guideline that you can use is make a post on X or Twitter, for example, and type in on there things such as, I'm looking for a UGC creator to create content for a dog related product, and then hashtag UGC creator and UGC creator, and you'll get tons of people. You can join Twitter groups as well. I think they've got groups on Twitter as well, and you can go in there and post in there for whatever it is that you're looking for. When it comes down to actually making an ad, you're going to want to use CapCut and 11 Labs if you're doing a voiceover. I personally have a video editor now, but out of the gate, I'm still able to get my hands dirty and whip up some creatives if I need to be. And CapCut is extremely worth the money. Just get the Pro. It's like $15 a month. Honestly, the return on investment is really, really worth it. And 11 Labs, even with the translation, you can get very good native sounding people on here using 11 Labs as well, and it's got auto captions on CapCut and yada yada yada. Now, A bonus little tip here, again, if you want to know what good creatives look like, I've got a bunch of stores here in this list here. They're all direct response, absolutely smashing it. And again, if you want access to this link with this Miro board with all of this stuff in here, then obviously make sure you smash a like on this video, and I'll put it in the pinned comment section. So that's that for the creatives. Now, the main easiest thing now is obviously just like testing and scaling, because again, offering creatives is the majority of the work. I'm just going to show you how to test and how to scale. I'll run over this fairly quickly, but first you should start with a campaign, and then every ad set is going to be a different concept. That's supposed to say concept 3 and not concept, if I just edit this here, concept 3. Okay, everyone's a different concept, which is a concept being a different angle, different style of video, different messaging, etc. And underneath that concept, it will just have 3 different hooks. So the bulk of the video will stay exactly the same, but the hook will change out. And what will happen is one of these will work, some of them, or maybe none of them will work. And whichever one works out, you know that you can double down on that concept. Now, there's a big argument between ABO and CBO. I personally done both, have success with both, so it's purely down to your preference. But if you're going to do ABO, then keep these at around about $25-ish to $35, maybe more if it's a higher ticket product. If you're doing CBO, you can start this CBO campaign here at $100 or $150 a day. And again, monitor which concepts are doing the best, turn off the ones that aren't, and the ones that are getting spent and working well, you will obviously then progress those going further. Now, in terms of scaling, I personally like to, or what has been working for me personally, again, it can change, but doing cost caps has been working. So essentially, again, this can be ABO or CBO, and advantage shopping campaign is another one that has been working fairly well as well. It's basically taking stuff, so the winning stuff from here, so whatever creatives and concepts are working in here, taking these and plugging them into a larger budget ABO or CBO and letting it rip essentially. And you will set a cost cap. So to do that inside of the ad set, you will see that it will look like this: cost per result goal. You can set what that is. I personally like to set it, you'll have a look at whatever your average CPA is, and I like to do like a 1.2 to 1.5x that average CPA. Again, some people like to set it at just their average CPA, but sometimes it doesn't spend. And the pro tip is, if it doesn't spend, right, then I personally like to do these with higher budgets, because your cost cap will give you protection. So on the bad days, it won't spend as much, and on the good days, it'll just go nuclear and just sometimes bring you in triple the amount of results. And I see this on the weekends all of the time. Now, if your cost cap isn't spending, or this isn't spending at all, 9 times out of 10, either your bid is too low or your creatives are just not good enough for Facebook to enter into any auctions that it thinks it's going to win. What you can do is obviously, again, continue to focus on creatives, but you can also try increasing your bid sometimes by $1 and $2 and checking it for 3-5 hours or so and seeing if it brings in some results. Final thing is, obviously, if you need help with any of this stuff, then you want to work one-on-one with myself and my brother, and you want mentorship, then feel free to just click on this link, and the link will also be down in the description as well. Hopefully you got some value from this video, and if you did, then make sure you drop a comment down below. Any questions, again, drop a comment down below. Make sure you smash a like on the video, and I'll drop that Miro board link to everything that I've mentioned in the comments down below. If you want me to do any sort of videos on anything specific, then again, drop a comment down below, and I will go through and try and answer and do a video to answer those questions that you may have. But that is it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.